the first time we offer this course. It's going to be for journalists in the Caribbean and communicators in the Caribbean. Can you talk about special issues that they should be thinking about for the region? So one clearly is people will care about this even more, A, if they recognize that it's not paradise, and B, if they recognize that the problem that you're having on your island in your country is being echoed across the region. So those are two messages
Exactly.
here.
Exactly. That two message is very important. Again, I'm I'm saying that this is really paradise. If you be there, is really nice paradise place. But I'm saying that every paradise has their problem, and the well-being of the human being and is important piece. And what you say, that it is very important message actually. We need to see the issues in that kind of place, like again, exposures. They have many different exposures, they have multi exposures, they have the, again, issues with the land degradation, they are have issues with the sea level rise, they have issues with the coral reef, losing them, and they are losing the fishery, and many other connected issues is there. And for the health perspective, when we look at it, they have very serious chronic disease problems in the Caribbean, not just the respiratory health, but connecting with their health. For example, we did the one study. It was very interesting study. I was shocked actually that time. Um, Grenada got hurricane hit. Hurricane Ivan hit 2004, I guess. And when I went to the island, we look at the school kids and look at their childhood obesity issues. And we were looking at, and what we see that there was a, they have a big data, not a number is big, but they were long time data. They always follow the school kids BMI and their things. And we see that when we look at the data, we see that in 2005, 6, 7, there is a BMI increasing with the kids. And I was looking what's happening, and then we started talking with the public health people and the teachers and other piece, and they say that because in 2004, when hurricane hit, they don't have the food. All food come from outside of the island, and it's changed their eating habit. And of course, just what we send, it's canned food there, or just that kind of food, and they lost their whole fruit trees, everything, just in the island. That it was very devastating. And so it's changed their eating habit. And these kids, they will grow and their kids will change their eating habits. So we are thinking climate change is not connecting, but that issue caused that something else, totally something else.
Wow.
And we don't make the connection sometimes. And again, issue is if you are coming that kind of part of the world, very small country, developing country, not everybody listen you. Why communication is very important? Because they don't know what's happening. And sometimes we are, as a scientist or practitioner, we don't know how to communicate the issue. We know that is an issue, but this is our responsibilities also. I've always blame myself also, how you can give that message better to everybody to understand.
So, what would you recommend? Are there any hints that you have for journalists to help them elicit that kind of information and compelling presentation from scientists?
Uh, I guess journalists needs, I'm sure they are, but need to be open-minded about what they will find, and just a more uh, try to reach the right people about just because there's always other sides what we are talking about, and just I believe that journalists needs to act a little bit like scientists, not to be biased, but try to reach all other, just the experts, and try to learn from them, and just try to make the connection. I guess this is the most key piece, I believe.
We have another expert who I interviewed last week who talked about the need to do that with mental health issues. So that, reporters sometimes ask policemen or police women or judges, or likewise, they sometimes think that to be fair and balanced, that they need to ask a climate denier, right? And that's like, these are not people who have expertise in what you need expertise in, right? They may have knowledge about law, and you should ask them questions about that. But likewise, people who, there are no responsible scientists that I, in this field for decades, and I'm sure you feel the same
Yeah.
way, who offer an alternative view, right, or alternative facts. There are facts, and those are what you need to address, and you need to talk to people who are acknowledged by all of our common metrics, like they're employed by a university, right? They have certification in the relevant areas. You never have to hear them say a sentence that begins with, "Well, I'm no expert in this," but right, because so often you get people opining with those kinds of credentials, and that's not responsible journalism, right?
Exactly, and it's hurting also. Just why I say that they need to really investigate and find the right experts and talk. I totally agree. You cannot just, if you ask me about just the law, I don't know why you're asking me. I really, this is not my background. I can have an idea, of course, but it not means that I should share my opinion, because it is not the scientific base, just is not my background. So I totally agree about that part. And also with the, I guess journalism is the another piece that, if you're doing in the very big country like here, it is totally different than if you are doing that kind of news in the very small community, like 150,000 people is there. They know each other. They really know each other. So for that purposes also, of course, there's if journalists also leave there, they have their opinions about the issue. So, but again, I guess is the not be biased and just go more scientific perspective is very, very important with the climate change, and not put too much feeling, but also again how you can go with the very scientific base information, and how you can communicate that piece is very critical for the, again, small island perspective.
Super. Any other concluding pieces that you want to make sure that our solutions journalists hear from you?
Journalists can be many other countries, come from the, just you can come from the very big country to go somewhere else, and you really need to be understand the cultural competencies. I guess this is another piece, we should be careful how we are giving the message. When I was working with Grenada, I didn't I am the outsider, just I cannot, when I do the any innovation or innovative solution for the issues, I always have my community partners to be face of the project, face of the our message, because for the cultural competencies is very important. And in the communication, I believe you cannot really just say that, oh, you should do this way or that way, because it's not acceptable. So I guess with the journalism also, how you can involve more community, or just community leaders in your report or your communication. It will give you another layer to and also create trust. I guess is the trust is the main issue with anything in the science or journalism communication. How you create that trust? If you have the trust, they will listen you, but if there is no trust, no, they don't listen you.
Thank you. Wonderful,
Yeah, thank
really wise. Really appreciate your time here.
you. Great. Thank you very much again, your time. I
All
really
right.
appreciate it. Have
Thank,
a good day.
thank you too. Bye-bye.